Here at the bottom of our 13 by 9, we're starting off with, this is a Sara Lee pound cake. You can find this in the frozen section of your local grocery store. And go ahead and spread it across. We just want to make sure all the pieces are nice and laid down. Using this pound cake is so amazing for recipes. It is super tasty, super spongy. And next, we're going to be throwing in some strawberry pie filling. There we go. So go ahead and use a rubber spatula, get the last little bits, and we are just going to be spreading this all the way across. I love this dessert, especially for summer, and especially if you love strawberries, this one is perfect for you. So I just want to make sure that I get at least all of the sponge cake covered in this strawberry pie filling. This dessert we're making is super easy, it does not take a lot of ingredients. So next, we can go ahead and move this off to the side. Next, go ahead and grab a glass bowl, and we're going to be doing some cheesecake Jell-O mix. So this is really easy to make. All you're going to do is take the Jell-O mix, and then we're taking 2 cups of cold milk. Go ahead and pour that in, and we're going to mix it for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then it should thicken up a little bit. And this is going to be so perfect to go on top of our pound cake and strawberry dessert. Once you have it fully mixed, go ahead and set it off to the side for about 5 minutes. Now that our cheesecake Jell-O is all set, we are going to slowly pour this right over. I just want to make sure to try to get a nice smooth layer on top. I know with the pound cake sticking out a little bit, it makes it a tiny bit awkward, but we are going to do our best. As soon as this is finished, it is going to be all perfect, so don't worry about it too much. Just go ahead and try to scrape as much of this delicious cheesecake as you can. Once we have this set, we're just going to smooth it over. You can see how nice and smooth it is. I love using this cheesecake Jell-O for these desserts. It just tastes so refreshing, especially mixed in with the strawberry. So just go ahead and try to get every last little corner. This is looking good enough for me. Once you have that in, we're going to be throwing in some original whipped topping and this stuff. And we are just going to leave this plain today just because I want the flavor of the cheesecake and the strawberry pie filling to stand out. So just go ahead and leave it plain right on top. This is just going to balance out the flavor of the cheesecake a little bit and make it a little bit more light and refreshing. So just go ahead, same thing with the cheesecake. We're going to smooth it out to the best of our ability. And even if it looks a little lumpy, that is okay because we're going to be doing something on top to kind of mask it a little bit. Once you have a nice smooth layer with all of the corners intact, we are going to be coming in with some graham cracker crumbs. And this is just going to sprinkle right on top. We're just going to be doing a nice little layer like this. We don't want too much, but just enough to kind of coat the top. This is going to give us a little bit of a texture, a little bit of a crunch. This is looking so tasty already. And last but not least, we got to top it off with some fresh strawberries because we have the strawberry pie filling. So we got to get some fresh strawberries right on top to kind of balance out the flavors. And there we go. This is such a nice and easy summer dessert. You can also do this with any type of fruit that you want. There's a blueberry pie filling you can do with some blueberries, or you can use a different kind of Jell-O, just anything that makes your heart happy. Use this recipe as a base to make it your own. So I'm just going to quickly go in and we're going to try to make this as decorative as possible. So I'm just going to be doing these nice little rows. And then once we are done, we just got to set it into the fridge or the freezer a little bit just so everything can kind of harden up a bit and we can get a nice big slice. So I'm actually going to stick this into the freezer for about 20 minutes. Oh my God, look at how amazing this looks. So I just left it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. Now everything is nice and hardened. And I was going to leave it just like this, but I remembered how much I love chocolate. So we are going to be doing a nice little drizzle right on top just to kind of finish it off. I love having chocolate, especially with strawberry and cheesecake. And then just these last little touches we put on our desserts, it makes it look that much better. Now, all we got to do is get ourselves a nice big slice. The cool thing with the pound cake is that it just cuts so easily. We do not need a knife. You can just use a rubber spatula and we can get ourselves kind of like a slice. I cannot wait to dig into this one. See how it tastes. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and give this a nice big bite. So for your first bite, you always got to make sure you grab a strawberry, grab some of that pound cake, and enjoy. This pound cake is so soft, and then mixed in with the cheesecake Jell-O and the strawberry. This is just the fastest way to make a cheesecake-like dessert. Enjoy.